Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Today we're going through Proverbs chapter 4, 5, and 6. Now tomorrow we're going to go through Proverbs 7, 8, and 9. So let's get started. Proverbs chapter 4 starts out with a father's example. And it says, "Listen, sons, to a father's discipline, and pay attention so that you may gain understanding." We've heard that before in a previous chapter. Verse 3, "When I was a son with my father, tender and precious to my mother, he taught me and said, Your heart must hold on to my words. Keep my commands and live. Get wisdom, get understanding. Don't forget or turn away from my words, from the words from my mouth." Wow. And then verse 7, "Wisdom is supreme, so get wisdom." Basically, what it's saying here is that wisdom and understanding are literally the most important acquisitions that you can ever attain in life. And it's literally saying, in all your purchases, purchase understanding. That is, spend all your assets on understanding, because wisdom is supreme. And whatever else you get understanding. Understanding of that wisdom. The next section talks about two different ways of life that we can live. We can live by the way of wisdom, or we can live the way of the evil ones. Now, which one would you choose? Verse 18 says, "The path of the righteous is like the light of dawn, shining brighter and brighter until midday." Now, when I read that passage, I do think of a historical figure. It's kind of obscure to most people. They don't really know him. It's William Henry Seward. He was born in 1801 and he lived until 1872. And he was actually the Secretary of State under President Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson, who negotiated the purchase of Alaska and Russia. Now, he said about the Bible and about its wisdom, he said this: "I do not believe human society, including not merely a few persons in any state, but whole masses of men, ever have attained or ever can attain a high state of intelligence, virtue, security, liberty, or happiness without the Holy Scriptures. Even the whole hope of human progress is suspended on the ever-growing influence of the Bible." That's how important he believed the Bible was, and the wisdom that was contained within the Bible as well. This is we could do nothing without this wisdom. The next section, as we move on through chapter 4, is talking about a straight path. And verse 23, "Guard your heart above all else, for it is the source of life." That stuck out to me. But what also stuck out was, "Let your eyes look forward. Fix your gaze straight ahead," in verse 25. Verse 27, as you see on the screen here, "Don't turn to the right or to the left. Keep your feet away from evil." Always moving forward. There's a lot of truth and a lot of wisdom in that, and it's even applicable today. Especially today, it's applicable. So we're going to move on to chapter 5. Chapter 5 talks about avoiding seduction and forbidden women. So essentially it's talking about adultery in a way. Verse 3, "Though the lips of the forbidden woman drip honey and her words are smoother than oil, in the end she's as bitter as wormwood and as sharp as a double-edged sword." So stay away from those forbidden women, essentially is what this is saying. It's saying enjoy your marriage. And there are illusions of your wife being related to water, as we see in verse 15 here. Proverbs chapter 5, verse 15. "Drink water from your own cistern, water flowing from your own well." This is referring to your wife. "Should your springs flow in the streets, streams in the public squares?" With a question mark there. "They should be for you alone and not for you to share with strangers. Let your fountain be blessed and take pleasure in the wife of your youth." So it's talking about your wife and enjoying your marriage and enjoying your wife and not being seduced into cheating on your wife, but be with your wife. Let her be the one that helps satisfy you. we're going to move on to chapter 6. And chapter 6 talks about financial entanglements as we start out. And it talks about beware of debt, going into debt. Also, beware of bad deals and getting shanghaied into doing bad deals with friends or strangers or anyone, your neighbors. Stay away from making deals with them. Then it talks about laziness. Verse 6, as I have here on the screen, laziness. Go to the ant, you slacker. Observe its ways and become wise. Without leader, administrator, or ruler, it prepares its provisions in summer. It gathers its food during harvest. And then verse 9 says, how long will you stay in bed, you slacker? That's right, get up, do some work, be that worker ant. Then it talks about a malicious man, what it means to be a malicious man. A wicked man goes around speaking dishonestly. We don't want to be that. Then it says in verses 16 through 19, what the Lord hates. The Lord hates 6 things, but in fact 7 are detestable to him. Arrogant eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that plots wicked schemes, feet eager to run to evil, a lying witness who gives false testimony, and one who stirs up trouble among brothers. So don't be any of these and stay away from those folks that do. Then there's another warning against adultery. We have over and over again warnings against adultery, and it mentions again that woman, that evil woman with the flattering tongue, that wayward woman, and also warns about the wife of other men. It says, can a man embrace fire and his clothes not be burned? Could you hug a fire and your clothes not be burned? The answer to that is no, you cannot. So stay away from that. Don't commit adultery. I hope this has touched you. If it has, hit the like button and subscribe button. Of course, click the little jingle bell so you get notified the next time I upload a video, which will be tomorrow. So we'll see you then for another episode of the Bible in 1 Year with the Preacher's Husband. Adios.